All right, so as recording goes, you oftentimes scrap up your recordings, bad sound, bad video quality, stuff like that. I actually filmed this unboxing a couple of weeks ago, but I had awful sound and basically the footage was not really usable. So I can probably show you in the corner here what it looked like. I overestimated the setup I had in mind for that unboxing. So I'll do a fake unboxing, meaning that the thing that was in this box has already been unboxed, ridden. I think I even have 60 something, 70 something kilometers on it already. So yeah, basically let's start the unboxing. So, very nice box. I'll probably use the overcam shots for most of the rest of this video, so sorry if you don't see my pretty face. So, as you might have guessed, it's another electric skateboard. Still hub motors powered, but this one is a bit different. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So, from the name you can see, don't mind the dust and the dirt. That's extra stuff. So it's the Exway. So it's a hub powered skateboard in which all the batteries are actually inside the deck, so you have no extra battery pack under, or the fit and finish is top quality for this one. So first off, we have the skateboard. If I remove this, let's just move this away for a sec. So let's start with the accessories. Of course, you got your charger, which is expected. This one has a small perk that most of the charger cable do not have on the market right now. The tip that gets attached to the skateboard is actually magnetic. So as you can see from this, it's a little flat piece with a magnet, and the centerpiece is the one that's actually connecting and giving the power through to the skateboard. Which means that you just need to remove the little cap and stick it on there, and it's super fast and super nice. None of those little rubber thingies that actually fall off and let water through it. This one has a little magnet also in the cap, so you never have this water problem. Speaking of water, this board is actually IP55, meaning you can ride it in the rain. It's actually quite dangerous. I almost had a mishap with that exact idea a couple weeks ago, so I don't recommend it. It's possible, it won't ruin the board, but it's actually very dangerous. The power that these little wheels give you when you actually just slightly turn can very easily make the skateboard do an 180 and you just roll around. So for the charger, you got a few other cables here. First off, you have the small Allen key for maintenance. The other cable you have in there is for the remote, and the last one is actually to use the board as a battery for your phone. So you got a female USB-C port here, so you can use the board as a big battery for your phone, for example, or if the remote dies while you're riding, you can always charge back the remote with it. Then you have a T-tool, so always very useful. It's the first time I see one in orange, so it's a good. It keeps on with the branding. You also have another set of PU for the back wheels. So you don't have an extra set of wheels for the front, but you do have one for the back wheels. So these are the ones that get usually the most beaten. They're the one that actually propel you. They're the one that really can chip off more easily. Yeah, so one thing I just realized while unboxing this for a second time, it shows you how much I don't read manuals and stuff. The back wheels are 83 millimeters in diameter, and the front wheels are actually 80 millimeters. So I was confused about 83, 85, 80, which is 80A, which is the durometer of the PU for this one and this one. But these one are actually slightly bigger than the front one. So you got 83 in the back and 80 in the front. So the more you know, I guess. So these are replaceable. You can get more on the site if you ever need more. All the paperwork. The board has 4 modes. When you get it out of the box, it's locked at the first speed. So you need to ride about 15 minutes before you unlock the other modes. And then after that, you can use the app on your mobile phone to set up the speed curves in your preferred way. And finally, the little piece that is quite important is the remote. From the shape, you can see that it's very similar to the boosted board remote, but you can see right off the bat that there's something more. You don't have a single button to change mode with LEDs. You actually have a screen here. So let me just power this up to show you exactly what I mean. So small little screen, you have the board capacity, the remote capacity, the speed at which you're going, the units, I've set mine to metric, and the speed. You can just press the button here to change modes, and it tells you what's the maximum speed of that selected mode there. I'm actually running the latest firmware update, which was recently released. Beforehand, you could only get the battery of the board, the battery level of the board, when you powered on the remote. But since that upgrade, you have both values on the left side here. So that's pretty nice. All right, so let's get this out of the table and let's look at the board itself. All right, so looking at the board itself, the first thing you see is that it's a long board. It doesn't have any flex in the middle like the boosted board or other types of flexi boards. However, this one has a very nice curve. I can try to show you from the upright angle. You can see that this is a very nice curve. And what this does is that it really helps you to grip on your feet. And when you do some aggressive turns, you really feel that you're in control of the board. They added a couple of shock pads below both trucks to help with the bumps and everything in the road cracks. In Montreal, we have very, very bad roads. So I do feel everything still. So it's not actually preventing me from having strain in my legs, but at least that's there. So it's a little bit better. The trucks are seismic trucks, so they're not Chinese no-name trucks. They're actually real skateboard trucks. And if you want, you can change the rubber here to have it set to your preferred durometer. So in this case, it's made for maybe people who are a bit lighter than me. I can get some of them that are harder plastic, harder rubber, and you can just change them as you normally would. The front trucks, the front wheels, everything is pretty standard, so that's really standard stuff. And then the fun comes in the back. The little warnings. So remember I said earlier that if you wanted to use this cable, you don't need to insert anything in. You basically just have it connect to it with magnets. So this is a little flap here. So it's hard to show, but there's a little round thing here. And if you just approach the cable, it basically just connects automatically, kind of like your MagSafe cable on your MacBook. Pretty cool. So the battery is inside the board. The ESCs are all in there. So every electronics is in this thing here. You got the power button here, and all the cables is routed through this little plastic cover on top of the trucks. So you don't see any cable dangling. You don't see anything in the way. Everything is pretty neatly tied. So it's pretty cool for that. One good thing about having this in a single sealed compartment is that this makes the board waterproof. So in this specific case, it's IP55, meaning that you can ride it in the water, not drown it, but you can ride it in the rain, no problem. You don't need to be afraid of anything except maybe rust on your bearings. So you might need to eventually do some maintenance on it and clean them up. So you can see that my wheels are actually pretty messed up. I actually have even a little PU problem here. I rode on a rock somewhere and this actually almost came off. If you compare the back wheels and the front wheels, you can see that the front one are pretty nice. The back one have a bit more problems. They do have to propel you, so they do more exposed to those kind of damage, especially because the PU is smaller, so there's less flexibility in there compared to very large PU in the front, so that absorbs more of the shocks. But otherwise, I have no problem. Like I've said, I've ridden this for 60 kilometers. I expect another video for the full review with riding and everything. So that's basically it for the unboxing. I have it set so that the third speed and fourth speed have maximum braking, because you can set the braking and the acceleration parameters in the app. But I don't want the third speed to reach full acceleration to 100% to conserve battery life. So yeah, more in the next video regarding range, speed, and stuff like that. But I can say that for my initial runs, this is pretty sweet. So in terms of spec, the board goes to up to 25 miles per hour, which is about 40 kilometers per hour. The range is 10 miles, so 15 kilometers. You don't get that much if you go full speed and constantly carve and everything, so you need to moderate your speed along the way. As with any board, if you go faster and if you carve harder, then you'll get, of course, a lot less battery. But in the end, I'm able to go to work and back from home pretty short on the battery, but still, that's in the fourth speed and always going super fast, stopping at red lights. I do kick push to start a bit, but maybe not as much as I could. So in the end, the battery is more solid-stated. So yeah, I'll report back with the actual numbers in a second video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below. If you like the video, you know what to do. Little thumbs up and share that with your friends. That's it. Peace.